If I mention the character Mudflap, your brain goes immediately to this idiot. The same can be said for skids, however, that's kind of changed today with the IDW skids and the amazing Masterpiece skids. More and more people are remembering what skids used to be, or what he has become outside of Revenge of the Fallen. Mudflap hasn't really had that kind of development because, well, his name hasn't really been redeemed. Mudflap, from my research, never appeared in G1, nor had any form of existence until Cybertron. And this toy, well, this mold anyways, I'm kind of hoping Mudflap gets made in Legacy at some point, but I also highly doubt it, considering all his toys shelf-warmed like crazy, both the Cybertron and the movie toy. So Hasbro's probably learned from that mistake and is like, yeah, Mudflap ain't gonna sell. This is the 2007 Redeco of Cybertron Mudflap, but all that's changed really here is the colors. And starting in crane mode, it's not a Chevy Trax. So Mudflap here is a massive ass crane. It actually looks neat, but of all the Unicron Trilogy figures I've looked at so far, they've been pleasant and great. But today's subject is going to be something that isn't so pleasant or great. The actual tooling and sculpt on this guy is actually pretty good. There's a lot of nice surface detailing going on, making this look great. The missile launcher is just there, and it's a bit of an eyesore, but it looks okay. The bits of silver are a nice touch though, and the yellow and white on this deco really works well. It just plays hell with my camera's colors, so I have to constantly change the lighting. It's annoying to film. You can use all the cyber key gimmicks in this mode, but I want to save them for the robot mode. But they are there, and they don't really add much to the alt mode anyways. Like, they're more for robot mode. It's a really long alt mode too. Like, it's quite sizable, and I like it. The whole thing just looks really cool, and I love this mode. It's a shame that this mode is my favorite because the transformation isn't the most fun. Lots of stuff just kind of gets in the way of other stuff, and it's really clunky and stiff, which is a bit of a shame. The missile does not stop firing either, which is annoying. Robot mode is meh. It's so awkward. The lower body is fine. It's cool how they took both the front and the back of the alt modes and made a symmetrical robot lower body. I think that that's a really cool trick. But the upper body, oh lord, does it have issues. Let's start with the backpack, which does not tab in nor does it stay in the slightest, so it flops around a lot and gets really annoying when handling the toy. And when transforming it, it gets in the way all the time. It would have been better if the back section like thooped in place, like had a soft click into place, like the feet, but alas it doesn't, and here it is to spin freely and annoy me. The thing I don't like the most though are the arms. They both have this big slab attached to them and makes them so awkward to handle, and on top of that, you've got the crane. The crane I thought would be fine because of the big feet, but it really hinders the robot mode. The whole thing feels super weird to handle with that thing attached to it, and you can't remove it. Another thing that feels weird is where the cyber key ports are. Number one is on the side of the arm here, like inside of the arm, which makes using the missile launcher really awkward because you have to finagle the arm out a certain way and then the missile goes flying by itself. It's not supposed to. And the other goes in the crane, but it gets stuck a lot because there's this stupid latch thing in there to keep the Cyber Planet key in place. I don't know why they did that. The cyber key stays in without it. But if you ever so much as move the crane while the key's in there, you're going to have to wrestle with it to get it out. And it's such a pain because even sliding it forward doesn't release the latch. You have to like get your finger under there and kind of pop it. But the key is clear, so you got to be careful not to snap it in half. So it's a whole thing. I don't like the cyber key gimmicks on this. Posing also isn't great. The arms really don't help at all, making this dude really cumbersome. But the ratchets sound nice. I really wanted to like this toy, but it falls short in a lot of areas, which is a shame. I was actually looking forward to picking one of these up at TFCon. And then I got it and I messed with it in the car just before we had lunch, and it just didn't blow me away. It's just okay. Like, overall, the toy is just okay at best. The paint on the robot mode looks cool, but the rest of the robot in general just kind of doesn't really work well. It's a shame that this toy is meh, because like I said, I really wanted it, and I really wanted to like it. I think the blue looks a lot better, and I might have liked that version a little bit more, but I don't know if it saves the entire toy from just being meh. In the end, should you buy one? I'm gonna go with no, unless you're like me and you really wanted one and you get it for super cheap. I paid 10 bucks for this in a value bin for this and Universe Overload. So like, that I think is a good enough price for this thing, but it still doesn't feel like it has a place on my shelves because it's not very good. It's not a very good figure. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, and that's another reason why I don't think they're gonna ever remake this version of Mudflap unless they repainted the Inferno mold. But should you get it? If you can get it for like $5, definitely go do that. Like that's really cool if you're a person who just wants to fill some shelves. Yeah, but I don't see this having a place in most people's collections, so I would honestly just say skip it. But that's been my look at Cybertron Mudflap. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.